Okay, here is Chapter 3, Quiz A. And we have a table of, they surveyed over 3 different years young females and asked them, did they drink milk? It was a yes or no question. And then there are our results for each of those years for the yeses and the nos. And what I've done is I've gone in and I've found the marginal distributions for each of these. Okay, for yes, for the total 3 years, it was 1222 divided by 2149, which is about 0.569 or about 57%. And then it makes sense that the no's would then be about 43% because the sum of these two should always equal 100%. Then I went down here and I did the same thing with the year. What percent of those surveyed were in these years? So for the years 87 to 88 survey, it was 27%, about 27%. This was about 39% and 34%. And again, the sum of these three should be 100. Okay, so ignoring that question right there because I didn't do a good job of writing it, let's look down here at the next one. So let's ignore this, ignore that, and by ignoring that. So what percent of young girls drink milk? Okay, so we're talking about all the young girls. How many of them said yes, yes, I drink milk? Well, that's 1222 out of 2149, and we've already found that answer. And this is the reason why I suggest when you're first given a table like this, find these numbers before you even look at the questions. And we've got time. It's not like we're on a time mission here. We've got time. We can go in and find these numbers. And so this answer, what percent of the young girls drink milk, is about, it's about 57%. Whoops. It's about 57%. So then the next question, it's written right there. What percent of the young girls were in the 89 to 91 survey? So we look back up at the table, 89 to 91 survey. There's 837 out of 2,149. That's 0.39. So I'm going to go ahead and write this fraction too that I should have. This was 1222 out of 2149. This one is 837 out of 2149. And again, that's about 89, about 39%, or about 0.39. 39%. You can leave it as the decimal. You can leave it as this number. You could even write this, but it's asking what percent. But this is considered that answer. So we're good with that. The next one asks, what percent of young girls reported that they drink milk? What percent of the young girls that reported they drink milk were in the 89 to 91 survey? Okay, so we're talking specifically about young girls that drink milk. So we're talking specifically about this row. We're not concerned about the bottom part of that. We're talking specifically about these numbers. There's my total. And so the question again is, what percent of young girls reported they drink milk were in the 89 to 91 survey? So 89 to 91 was 502 out of 1222. So this is 502 out of 1222. Now this is different. This is not any of these numbers. So we grab our handy dandy calculator and we do the calculations. Try to figure out a good place to put this. It's not a good one. So 502 divided by 1222, there we go, 1,222, and that is about 41%. And if you wanted to put 41.1%, that choice is yours. Okay, let me turn this light on and see if that makes that show up a little bit better. Oh, it does. Nice. So 41.1% or 41% about, okay, I took 502 divided 1,222, the number in the year 8991 from this column. This is called conditional probability. We want the probability of, we're talking just about those that said yes, and 502 out of 1222 is about 41%. Okay, so then it asks, what percent of the young girls in 89 to 91 reported they drink milk? Okay, another question. A lot of people think these two are the same, and they are not. Some people think that this one and this one, that B and D are the same. They are not. This says what percent of the young girls in 89 to 91. So now we're just talking about this group of females. Okay, we're talking about this group of females. What percent of them from 89 to 91, what percent of the young girls reported that they drink milk? So again, it's 502 out of 837. A little bit different. So 532, oh, excuse me, 502, my mistake, out of 837. Okay, so, oops, there I go again with that okay stuff. So it's 502 divided by 837, enter. And that, I'm just going to go ahead and off the top of my head say that's 60%. I hope you're comfortable with that. 0.59976, boy, all that's rounding, rounding, rounding up. So I'm just going to call that approximately 60%. Okay, I'm hoping you're feeling comfortable with that. Real quickly, I'm going to change something here. No, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Now, the next question, what is the marginal distribution of milk consumption? Okay, marginal distribution, that's talking about these totals up here, totals. Now, this total talks about milk consumption, consumption, there we go. So we're talking about drink milk, yes or no. So this is a yes question. What percent said yes? And that's about 57%. And no is 43%. We've already found those numbers up here. Again, I find those percents first, but that's just me. That's just what I do. So we found those totals, and that's yes, 57%, and no, 43%. Okay, that's how we read a table. That's how we interpret all of this information. I hope this is making sense to you. Okay, now I'm going to stop this and I'm going to create a different video for the independents. Hope you have a great rest of the day.